Hello, fireworks friends, and welcome to opening day. We are so excited that we've made it to this point in the fireworks season. We have went through all the unpleasantries of the spring, the uncertainties that brought us into May and even June, and now here we are ready for June 28th, opening day of 2020 fireworks sales. We know that this will probably be the most unusual but most profitable fireworks season that you're ever going to have. So we wanted to give you a few tips and reminders to make sure that you are as prepared as you can possibly be to take advantage of the first day of sales and really be prepared for the entire sales week. So first and foremost, we want to remind you that we gave you the legs to help set up your booth during your pickup times. So when you picked up, you got some PVC pipes. Those are the legs for your stand. Again, just a reminder, we didn't put those in there when we set up the stands to help mitigate the vandalism and issues we've had in the stands in years past. So be sure to take a couple minutes and set those up before you get started, before you start unloading product. We will also, in the email you're going to get, we'll have a link to the actual video showing you how to set it up so that it can be real smooth and easy for your volunteers. Secondly, you want to make sure you set up your merchandise properly. Now we have a planogram that is in the digital sales aid kit. So if you click on the QR code of the digital sales aid kit flyer that came in your big white box sales aid kit, you'll find it under return catalog. You click that header and then scroll down a few clicks and there's the official planogram. Additionally, we have a merchandise setup video that will link as well to help you set up your booth in the proper way to make it as easy for you, your volunteers, and your customers to function. Now, obviously, setup day, opening day, is June 28th, which is a Sunday this year. There will be no inspections on that day. So set up, function, and just sell, sell, sell. June 29th, which is Monday, the fire inspections will start. However, we have reported to the fire department the day and times that you told us when you did your pickups that you will be ready for an inspection by. So the fire department will not come to your booth to inspect until after that day and time. It may be later that day, it may be the next day, it may be a couple days away. But you can get up and function and start selling before you have an inspection, and the fire department will come to you. If you gave us a day and time and you're not going to be open by that period of time, be sure to touch base with us, because we don't want you to have a fire inspector show up and you not be there, and then they're going to give you an additional permit fee. They call it a refee, so we want to avoid that. So again, be ready for your inspections. The fourth thing you should do prior to sales starting is to do a test sale through the Square point of sale system. Type in some items, make sure you know how to charge them, make sure that you understand the functionality. If you have a scanner, test it on a few items, make sure that it works. You want to make sure everything on that iPad is functioning prior to your first sale, because you don't want any hiccups. If you have an issue with it, give us a call, we'll walk you through it, or if we need to get you a new unit, we can. But the biggest thing with all of the Square iPads, the reader, and the scanner, make sure you put them on the charger. You need to charge those puppies up before you get started. They have some charge, but not enough to get you through the day. And honestly, for those of you who picked up earlier, they may not have enough to even turn on the 28th. So put them on the charger and get them ready to go. Now, as the sales start happening, you're going to take both credit card and cash sales. This time of year, the scammers like to come out and they try to pass bad bills. So here's a few pointers to look for that are kind of red flags when it comes to people trying to pass bad bills. Firstly, if somebody comes with a $100 bill and they try to buy a couple bucks or a few dollars worth of fireworks, that's a red flag right there. That means they might be trying to pass a bad bill, and they're going to try to get as much change from you as possible. Additionally, they like to come to booths that aren't lit up at night or that seem confused and not operating properly. So make sure that you have a functional booth, and at night that you have plenty of light so that you can see the bill and check it. Again, you want to check for the watermark, you want to check for the paper consistency, you want to flip the bill over and just make sure it's even printed on the other side. And you really want to have adults taking cash, not so much the 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds. They may not be as familiar with the way cash feels or what to look for. If you're able to get a bill reader off of Amazon, they're pretty cheap. They're like 20, 30 bucks, and you put the bill in, it runs it in and out, and it tells you if it's good or bad. So be aware and be vigilant, especially with the hundreds and the 50s. We have seen a few 20s, but not so much. It's really the hundreds and the 50s. So be vigilant on those bills. Check them and recheck them. And if you feel uncomfortable with it, just tell the customer you don't have enough change. Send them into the grocery store or into the convenience store to get change and come back and buy with smaller bills. Now, obviously, this year has been a little different, and there's been some concerns out there. A few weeks ago, we had a few incidences of civil unrest. We anticipate a very peaceful week, as fireworks are a sense of normal to the community. It's very normal for fireworks stands to be up. It's normal for nonprofits to be in them, raising money for their organizations, and shooting fireworks during this week of sales is very normal. So we expect the sense of normalcy to actually help the community and to be a plus. But you do want to be vigilant of your surroundings and err on the side of caution. So you do want to keep an eye out. And if you see cars circling, or familiar, like a car that seems like it's going around a lot of times, or if you see someone that's walking around the booth and maybe seems like they're always there, those are some signs of concerns. And so you want to keep an eye on that. If you do have an issue, feel free to call the police. That's why they're there. They know that you're out there. I sit on a interagency task force. They know that the nonprofits are out there trying to raise money to help the community. And the police want to make sure that you're safe while you're there. So if you see anything suspicious, just call the police and have them come out and deal with it. Obviously, we want to avoid any confrontations, so you don't necessarily need to try to run the person off or persons or vehicle. Just call the police and let it be. If you do have any incidences that are scaled up, you give us a call and let us know immediately, as well as the authorities. The next thing we want you to be aware of is during the pickups, we gave you a poster that has a QR code on it for a promotion we're running with our friends at Cowabunga Bay. So Cowabunga Bay is the water park that's in Henderson, and we have partnered up with them to get coupons out to the community to allow customers to come to their water park at a reduced rate. When a customer scans the QR code on the poster that should be attached to your stand in a conspicuous spot, they will be able to enter in some information, and then their receipt for that information is going to be a coupon that they can bring to the park starting on July 8th and going through the end of the month to get a reduced rate on up to 4 tickets to Cowabunga Bay. We are very excited about the promotion with Cowabunga Bay, and we're grateful for your help in getting that information out to the community. So there's nothing you have to pass out, there's nothing you have to sell, it's just put it on your booth and allow the customers to scan it. If they do have questions, you can just let them know. It's for a reduced rate coupon. It's $24.99 versus $39.99 daily rate at the park, July 8th through the end of the month. Now, obviously, your sales are going to be astronomical all day long, and at the end of the day, you have to take your booth down if you're not open 24 hours. So, when you do that, you're going to come to the approved storage yards, which are either at our office at the Speedway or at the Galleria Mall. There will be a guard at the gate. And when you come in to collect your product, or to return your product, there's going to be a QR code that they're going to want you to scan. You scan the code, you enter in your location number, your group name, your name, and hit submit. And that is your check-in. When you take your product out in the mornings, it's going to be the same thing. We're checking the product out. This is part of the fire department's new directive and them wanting us to keep track and provide to them a list of who's checking in and who's checking out at night. There's a few incidences last year, it didn't involve any of you thankfully, that raised some red flags with the fire department of where the product was being stored. And so they have instituted this updated policy where they want us to check you in and check you out. So be sure to scan the QR code when you pick up your product, scan it when you drop it off at night, and just do that every day in or out. You don't have to be the chairperson to do it. It could be anyone from your group. They just need to know the location number, the group name, and their own name. And they put that in, and then the system will automatically time, date, and stamp it. So we appreciate your help in doing that because it will help facilitate the reports that we provide to the fire department. And obviously, if you don't show up on the reports, the fire department's going to ask why. So be very careful. And they are in a confiscating mood this year. They're very concerned about everything as well, and they just want you to follow all the rules. So please, please do. With all of that, we hope that you are ready and excited for opening day. The sales are going to be astronomical. It's going to be busy. We're going to be able to do lots of reorders. We're going to do a separate video to talk to you about that. But just know that your efforts, your stress, your concern, all of your hard work will pay off, and we're going to be with you every step of the way as we start 2020 Sales Week. We look forward to seeing you later.